Lord have mercy. What's up, you guys? I am on the air with a legend from Chicago. And I'm honored to have you on because I had your back when people was calling you a crook, when your ex was spinning on that phone and stalking you, addressing you all on this platform. I said, no, Darius is innocent because he's just innocent. It's a lot I don't want to dive into, but welcome, Darius, to the Wiley Show.
Appreciate you for having me. Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you fine. I can hear you fine.
All right,
And,
cool.
and so it all first started with me that I did more digging because the lady that was stalking you, she did a Roland Martin interview,
Yeah.
and Roland was like begging you to come on the show and all of that, and you declined.
Yeah.
So I want to actually just start off with that. Why you declined to go on Roland? Because Roland have been a journalist for over 30 years. So why you said no to him for an exclusive interview?
Because he's messy.
Okay.
Yeah. I feel like with Roland Martin, he already had his point of view already set. You know what I'm saying? Come on, Light. He already had his point of view set. I feel like Roland was doing it for clicks, likes, and views. If I could be, honest, he's a social media influencer like the rest of us, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, game recognized game. And I peeped it early on. Like I looked at what he had going on. I figured he didn't really want, true accurate reporting. Plus, he's going off of like the popular buzz, right? It wasn't a situation where he was like, "Oh, I know who this guy is," even though we met before, even though we both worked on the Tom Joyner cruise before.
Wow.
It wasn't even an approach in that way. It was more so just for likes and clicks and views. So I was like, yeah, I'm good with that.
I was looking at this, the lady that was accusing you and try to got a restraining order and all of that. It was something that she did was weird that I knew she was a piece of shit.
What's that?
She was at across where you was at, like stalking you. And I was like, look at just following you all around. And then when I was doing digging, I'm like, you was a fan. Like what?
Yeah, no, wait. Well, you got to understand exactly what happened, right?
Okay.
So the day of the incident, I'm leaving the barbershop. So true, I was on live stream, like I'm on Instagram live stream all the time, talking to my people. I said, I'll call y'all back. I'm gonna go in the barbershop. So I go in the barbershop. I come out of the barbershop. She is in all black, in the bushes, behind by a chain link fence in all black. And she has a shirt, the Forever Problem shirt. She put on my windshield, and she has her phone up and she's recording me, right? So, yeah, okay, cool. That's a whole problem in and of itself. But then you got to keep going. Like, you got to fast forward. So I called the police. I don't know who is saying that she called the police because she didn't. I called the police, and I had the police come, scoop out the scene. I wanted to get a police report documented because who knows what's getting ready to happen moving forward. And I'm glad I did that. So the next day, after the incident, she goes to the police station, right? And I have my computer in front of me just because we just did a shoot and I'm getting footage, but I can play. I have the body cam video,
okay,
from the officers. So she goes to the police station in Sandy Springs, and at 1 minute and 10 seconds into the video, she tells the officer that she just happens to be in the area, right?
Wow.
She was in her husband's car at the Mercedes-Benz dealership. That's her quote, okay? 2 minutes and 46 seconds into the video, she just said she was in her husband's car. 2 minutes down the line, she then says, he blocked me in. He figured out which car I was in. It was this one, referring to the blue Bentley, right? So which one was it? Which car? Now, I'm from Chicago, West Side. You feel me? I've seen a lot of stuff in my life. Yeah. I've never seen one person drive two cars at the same time.
Absolutely not. That's impossible.
So you tell me, which car were you in? Because you just told the officer you were in your husband's car, and you told Roland Martin you were in your husband's car at the Mercedes-Benz dealership. The day of the incident, and I have that body cam footage as well, you were not in your husband's car. You were in your blue Bentley, because that's the car I blocked in. So it's like, when you say she did foul things, the story don't even line up. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, even if you try to follow the bouncing ball, it's like, where do we even start and where do we end? And when you start off with misrepresenting the truth in such a gross manner, why am I listening to anything else you have to say?
I hear you.
Yeah.
And on yesterday, you posted that she tried to get you to pay her attorney fees, but the court disagreed. Why do you think that is?
So, okay, so here's what happened. So the restraining order was my deal, right? People keep saying, oh, she's taking you to court. She's taking you to court. The plaintiff name comes first in legal documentation. Everything you see says Williams versus Ford, right? I am the plaintiff, or in this case, the petitioner. She is the defendant, or in this case, the respondent. So we got to just make sure we clear that up. This is not her case against me. It's my case completely against her. And so we took her to court for a temporary restraining order based on the OCGA code 16-5-90, which goes as follows. A person commits the offense of stalking when he or she follows, places under surveillance, or contacts another person or persons at or about a place or places without the consent of the other person for the purpose of harassment and intimidation. The definition of harassment and intimidation based on the law has to show a repeated pattern. It cannot be the very first time, right? So we do have evidence that she's reached out to like my barber before. This is not the first time trying to contact me. However, without my barber wanting to testify, because he didn't want to testify under oath, that means that now that's just hearsay and it's not admissible in court. So because we only were able to prove that it happened one time, the judge has to follow the letter of the law, right? Now, the judge did say, and I quote, "I find this behavior to be pretty odd or pretty strange." He also said, does Mr. Williams, even as a public figure, deserve to have the court's protection when he comes out of a barbershop to go to his vehicle? Like, does he deserve not to be harassed? This is what the judge said, not me, right? But the judge has to follow the law. So I lost the temporary protective order. Now, her right is to come back and then to file so that the lawyer's fees are paid. Initially, what her retarded lawyer did was so we had a court date. I forget whatever date the court date was. Less than 24 hours, her attorney submits a motion for lawyer's fees. Okay. The judge is like, you just submitted this last night. Like, ain't nobody had time to review this. There's been no clerk to review this. Nobody had a chance to even consider this. So I'm dismissing this. And not only that, but in that particular court and the way it works, child, what is she doing? What are you rapping?
We live.
Wrapping up.
Share this live. We live with Darius Cooks. He's talking about his explaining what's going on with ladies.
Jesus, what are you rapping that you have to take that much noise? God, Joe. Okay.
We're live. Go ahead.
Sorry. We just finished the shoot, and this is my creative director / editor. She's amazing. She really is. Oh. Okay. She's taking some leftover food home, clearly. But she's wrapping it in foil, and it's like she's wrapping the whole house in foil. Okay, so in this particular court, the way it works is that you are not supposed to submit lawyer's fees as a motion. It goes as a request. Her lawyer should have known that. So even the fact that you submitted it less than 24 hours ago, you also submitted it as a motion. And in this particular court, magistrate or in the court of the Superior Court of Cobb County, it goes as a request, not as a motion. So she has a right that even though she won that first case, to come back and then to counterclaim or countersue me for her lawyer's fees. So we go through this process of going to court. She's all gloating online. I'm ready for court. I'm ready for my day, this, that, and the third. Now, the judge said, and I'm going to say, the judge said, I remember that you said that your actions were questionable and they were odd. If you said that, why should I be granting you lawyer's fees? Wow. So they argued, my attorney argued, her attorney argued, they go back and forth. We never said anything. She didn't say anything, I didn't say anything, because we have, qualified attorneys who speak for us. So the judge was like, I'll let y'all know something. After the case was argued, he couldn't even come to a conclusion. He said, I'll let y'all know. So he had up to 90 days to give us a verdict. Apparently the verdict was issued the other day, and it was, went through the clerk and all that, I think yesterday or the day before, and that's when we got the information. So on the bottom, let me just pull it up because I could read you exactly what it says. That way nobody is taking what I'm saying out of context. So in the bottom of the last page, it says, and I quote, notwithstanding the court's ultimate decision to deny the request for a protective order, the court disagrees with the respondent's, her, characterization of the claims underlying the petition. Respondent's actions, this is Melanie's Ford, respondent's actions by her own admission were odd and concerning to the court. While the petitioner did not ultimately prevail on the petition, the court does find the petition was devoid of any justifiable issue of law or fact, which would mandate an award, right? But then he says, accordingly, respondents' motions for attorney fees pursuant to OCGA 9-15-14 is hereby denied. So even, she even admitted that what she did was questionable. She stated that over and over again. She went on Roland Martin and said the optics don't look good. I know it looks bad. She even went to the police station, to the police officer. I have that on video. I can play that if you want to, where she says, I know it doesn't look good. I know I shouldn't have done it. If I had to do it over again, I wouldn't do it that way. Okay? So you even admit that your actions are questionable, and that's the reason why it was denied.
So what made her come after you? Did she try to date you and you said no? Did she not receive a cookbook? Was her chicken not done, well done and crispy? What made her say, hey, I want to come after you legally?
So she never came after me legally. She had been purporting online that she was going to be coming after me legally for what we don't know. But this is a voicemail she left me in 2015. So I called the police. Wait, hold on one second.
Okay.
I called the police. I got you on YouTube. Okay, here we go. So this is a voicemail she left in 2015. You listen and you be the judge. It's about 3 minutes long.
Okay.
I don't know why it's so difficult. Darius, good morning. This is Melanie. I don't know why it's so difficult for you to be mature in this situation. I've never tried to defame you. I've never tried to come after you. I would think that you would be smart enough to keep my name out of your mouth. The only thing I did was to come to you privately and speak to you about a situation which you allowed me to do, okay? For whatever reason, you chose to take the information that I brought to you, not behind your back, but to you, and trying to assist and trying to be an example and trying to just give you some of the advice that I wish somebody had gave to me, because I said to you, I too have made the same misstep. Not in a funky way, not in a disrespectful way, but I came to you. Why you took that information and thought that I was attacking you, I don't know. You then made the decision to say, okay, to send me this little spineless email and say, oh, okay, I think this is best. Okay, cool, it's best.
It gets better.
But then you were shitty enough to leave an email or to go on the book club. It could have been okay for you to say, hey guys, there's been a change. Mel's not in the book club anymore, or hey guys, the book club is going to go on. Mel's not going to be a part of it, or whatever. But no, being the drama person that you are, apparently, you felt the need to go ahead and put it, oh, I've made the decision, and make it this big thing and make it all drama. I'm calling you direct. If you have a problem with me, pick up your goddamn phone and give me a call. Because we can make this messy if you want to, because like I said before, I have the time and the resources to make this as ugly as you want it to be. I choose not to be that person. I've not tried to come after you. I've not tried to bother you. All I have done is continue to say, hey, the only thing that has happened is I no longer will be a part of his scope. I have a wonderful cookbook. I've not tried to defame you. You're messy. Call me a bitch one more time, okay? As a matter of fact, unblock me, and if you want to make this so public, let's make it public in front of everybody. But what you seem to like to do is to go on and then use my name or insinuate and say all kind of messy stuff,
and then it cuts off, right? So that is the initial where all of this mess started. Can I just address
this is back in 2015.
2016.
Wow.
Let me just express one thing real fast.
Okay.
And I'm gonna look for this while I'm on the phone with y'all. I'm gonna try to pull it up. People keep saying that I doxed her, which means like I put out her private information. She said that, right? She says, oh yes, he doxed me. She said it. She didn't start saying it until there was all this other drama with the kitchenista, right? So if I previously doxed her and this happened in 2016, how come we didn't hear about it until 2022? Number one, right? As eloquent and as articulate as she is, how come we never heard about me doxing her, me harassing her? Why did we just start hearing about it in 2022 if it happened in 2016? My guess is it never happened. Further, in order for somebody to put out your private information, I have to have it. I pulled up her two orders. She ordered from a cookbook for me in 2015, and she ordered a cookbook for me in 2016. Both cookbooks, and I posted this on my Instagram, on my Facebook, both cookbooks went to a UPS store in Austin, Texas. They never went to a home address. So how can I dox someone with information I never had?
Yeah, because she said you doxed her and her husband.
I never had her information.
I never had her.
Where I get it from?
She said you blocked her number and her people was harassing her, and that your people was harassing her. And I was like, okay.
Where I get it from?
I don't know where you got it from. I'm just telling you what she said.
I understand what she's saying. All I'm saying is you could purport that all day long. But where did I get the information? I never had it because you never gave it to me. So, and if this happened because why didn't we hear about the doxing in 2016? Why didn't we hear about it in 2017? Why didn't we hear about it in 2018? Why didn't we hear about it in 2019, 2020, or 2021? Why did we just hear about it in 2022?
Absolutely, that's a great question. But
great,
a lot of
you should ask her.
And a lot of people would say when I Google your name, and some of my people that follow me, they say you a scammer, or they say you dox. And when I watched the news clip, I've seen you was featured on Atlanta News, Fox News, like a couple of times.
Yeah.
And you deny each request.
Mm-hmm.
And they put out that you pretty much scamming your followers, that you are not, that you're breaking the rules of Airbnb. What is your response to those allegations? Because not only they did one coverage, or I think they did about two, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm, they did. So if I am scamming, here's what I say. Let me scam in peace, right? Because you could claim that I'm scamming all day long. Where are the indictments? Nobody with a platform as big as mine that makes as much money as I do. And if I were to give you an estimation, I'm literally in my online store right now. Between January 1st and December 14th, my online store, how do you cut this shit around, this camera around? Can I flip the camera around? Camera.
I think it's going to be kind of difficult with your cell phone. With StreamYard.
Oh, yeah, I'm on my cell phone.
You on your cell phone.
This says 2.7. I don't even know if you can see it.
Oh yeah,
But
that's 2 point. I think it say 2.7 million. That's a million.
yes, million.
Oh, you got bank.
Okay. So this is what I've generated in my online store,
Okay.
including a bunch of $100,000 days and $1 million day when I release tickets for Dining with Darius Cooks. With as big of a footprint that my business has, all these transactions came through Visa, MasterCard, American Express, and Discover. With as many transactions, this says 545 orders from January 1 to today. If I was really scamming, do you think that I would still have relationship with the #1 e-commerce platform in the world, Shopify? Do you think I would still have relationship with Visa, MasterCard, American Express, and Discover? Would not. And furthermore, if I really was scamming, then please tell me why my customers between December 1st and today have spent $290,000 in my online store. And please tell me why between November 1st and November 30th, $559,934.39 spent in my online store. If I really was scamming, please tell me why all those people are reposting the orders they received, their skillets, their pots, their knives. Why is that happening if I really am scamming?
Because they said it was a lady on TikTok.
Mhm.
He said you got blocked from Airbnb and you used her account and y'all trashed the place and she got all these fees and it messed up her relationship with Airbnb. And how do you respond to that? Because they say you are blocked from Airbnb and that you use other people's account and you mess up their name with Airbnb. So what is your current status with Airbnb? Are you blocked? Did you scam Airbnb? Like, what's the update on that?
I have a valid Airbnb account. I have a valid VRBO account. No issues, no problems. You're talking about Nadia Hollis, who used to work for me. Okay. She used to be my assistant and she used to book she used to book my travel and she used to book all of the homes for me with my credit card. She's saying that now she told y'all this. She said that I charged whatever I did cost her $10,000. This is what she said. $10,000. Now, this is a normal, everyday employee. She's not an entrepreneur. She does not make a voluminous amount of money. So $10,000 to anybody of her stature would be completely substantial, right? How come the last time Nadia worked for me was 2016? Why we never heard about $10,000 in 2016? Why didn't we hear about $10,000 in 2017? Why didn't we hear about it in 2018? If I really owed you $10,000, how come we just not heard about it when my name was in the hot seat on Fox 5? How come we didn't hear about it the last 6 years prior?
And did she ever sue you for that
Never.
$2,000?
Never. Did she tell you she sued? Never.
No, I'm actually, did she ever file a claim?
Never.
For $2,000?
Never.
I remember you were on Dr. Larry Reed and you're still in a lot of controversy and you said something. You said, where's the order number? Because a lot of people say he scammed. I didn't receive my order. Everybody that's like the big thing when you Google your name or you post it on Twitter. They say they have not received their cookbook, their product. How do you respond to that? What's the update on? Do you send people? What is the shipping process? Do you send it directly? Like, how is that going? Because a big thing is I haven't received my order. He took my money, and then every time I say, "Where's my order?" he blocked me. Is that true?
That is so not true. I have been here's my saving grace, and I say this all the time. I have two things that have honestly saved me from any of this crap that's going on. The first thing is when the Kitchenisa first started with all of this mess, my orders were at 140,000. So my order numbers were 140,000 and up. 140,000 orders. People are going, wait a minute. I know you said he a scammer, but I got my order. I know you say that, this, that, and the third, but listen, everything I paid for, I got. The other saving grace for me is the fact that I've been on live stream. I was the first early adopter on Periscope. The reason I have my community so strong on Instagram is because they came over from Periscope before Periscope went away. So I was live streaming before live streaming was even a thing. And I would live stream from the living room, printing labels, packing books. I would live stream from the garage. When the post office would come and send 3, 4, 5, 6 2-ton trucks to my garage to pick up, they would see that. I live streamed from the warehouse when I was packing in the warehouse. I don't live stream from the warehouse now because I'm on tour and I have a staff that handles all of the packages that go out. My question, my rebuttal, here's my reply, would be for a person who claims they never received their order, what is the order number? Let's start with that. And that's where we get crickets. Just today, earlier, 2 people in my comment section on Facebook said, I never got my cookbook. I said, what's your order number? The lady said, I never got one. You never got an order number?
Yeah,
because everybody, everybody gets an order confirmation email. She says, I never got an email. I said, what's your first and last name? Crickets. We heard nothing, right? The other person said, I never got my order. Everybody is asking, where's your order number? To this day, we still don't have an order number, right? So what I'm saying to you is, and I would check, I would do live customer service live right now. Pull up the 6-digit order number. If somebody's in your comments right now, give me the order number right now. I'm live in my online store. I will look up the order and tell you exactly what the order is. The people who are purporting this, that they never got their order, and the people who are saying, I placed the order, never placed an order. They don't have an order number because don't one exist. Do you really think that I would be this vocal, what scammer is on live stream 12 hours a day? I'm live. You were on my live earlier.
Absolutely. And then when I was offending you, if this is true, you're a black man. Yeah. You can get indicted for it's a lot, because I was watching your ex and you all, you claim that he is your ex. He's a YouTuber, and I got to know him for just doing 60,000 videos about you. Oh, he's a scammer. He's he's such a liar. He's scamming people. He's breaking the law. He broke so many laws. I'm like, but where is the indictment? Where's the pressure with the authorities? But what made your ex come at you? Where did y'all went wrong? Because he go on his channel, he made a lot of videos about you saying that you are a liar.
Let me ask you, that's a good question. That's a great question. Let me ask you this. The last time Lavelle and I would have been cordial would have probably been 2006, 2007. Okay? We finna go into 2023.
Absolutely.
Then there's a lot of years that have passed.
Absolutely.
How are you an expert on my life and we haven't spoken in about 15 years? Right? So it baffles me to look at him and go, how are you speaking on me when I haven't had a conversation with you in 15 years? Now, can you bring up stuff from 15 years ago? Sure, you absolutely can. Does it have merit? When has a scorned ex ever been a source of positive information? And I'm going to tell you, I'm going to do a video on this, but I'm going to tell you why he upset. He upset because he tried to out sissy me. Okay? I'm going to tell you why he's mad. He's mad because there was a point where we were going to do a business together. Me, him, and one of my other friends named Calvin. We all put in money. I put in the most. And when I say the most, I think the total amount was probably $15,000 that we all put in. I think I put in about 8. Lavelle put in about 4. Calvin put in the rest. So we were going to do a food truck. I already had food trucks in Chicago. I was already on the scene. They wanted to partner to do this idea called the lunch machine. I don't need a partner. But my best friend Calvin at the time was like, come on, put me on. Come on, help me. So as a friend, I'm like, okay, cool. We can all do it together. Immediately, they wanted to do like weird stuff. They wanted to like get a voicemail system and business cards, and just that wasn't what the food truck scene was about. The number one food truck that was out in Chicago was Flirty Cupcakes, and all they had was a Twitter and an iPhone. That's it. So I'm like, we don't need all that. So we started bumping heads, and I said, okay, I'll tell y'all what. Y'all take the truck, y'all can have it. The truck was legally registered to me to begin with because I'm the one that bought it. But I said, y'all take the truck, y'all go. I'm a bow out. I'll lose my money. Y'all can even use my bakery if you want to, because you have to have a licensed commissary. So I bowed out. They took the truck. They go do their thing. They fail miserably. I look up like 2 months later, the food truck is in Lavelle's backyard, right? And I'm like, the truck could be on the street making money. So I called Lavelle like, yo, what's going on? And he was like, oh, the truck in my backyard. We this, that, and the third. So I said, I tell you what. Give me the truck back. Sell me the truck back. I'll give you what you put in plus $1,000. Lavelle was out of his money completely. So he was like, yeah, I'm down. Let's do it. So he said, let me call Calvin. Calvin said, yeah, I could do that, but I want 50% of the profits indefinitely. This is the deal that they were making with me. I said, okay, cool. Not a big deal, because he said profit. So I said, they drew up a contract. I go, Calvin and Lavelle were trying to open up a restaurant. By the way, I named the truck the lunch machine, right?
Mhm.
And Twitter handle was Eat Better Lunch. They were opening up a restaurant cafe called Eat Better Cafe. Where did they get the name from? Me. But that's neither here nor there, right? I'm not going to trip because I could always come up with something different. So I go over there on the south side of Chicago in South Shore neighborhood, and I sign the contract. I look at it. It's like 10 pages long. I looked at it. I signed it in like 30 seconds. Calvin goes, you signed this real fast. What's wrong with this? I said, nothing. It's your contract. You the one gave it to me. Lavelle was standing right there. So we signed it. We go our separate ways. They scratching their head like, damn, that was easy. So we come back from a road trip. It's about to be a month past the time where they supposed to get paid now, right? Because Calvin's like, I want my 50%. Well, guess what? You said 50% of the profits. You didn't say 50% of the revenue. So there are no profits, right? Capital expense, labor, supplies, and I'm the CEO. So my salary. So guess what? There is no profit. Pissed off. Because I got them at their own game, right? So now Calvin's pissed at me. Lavelle is pissed at me. I leave Chicago. Lavelle even said on his Facebook that Darius should kill himself and start this life all over again because he's fucked this life completely up. This is what they're saying about me, right? February 2011 is when this happened. January into February. They want you to believe that they all perfect and they're innocent, right? But these are the things that you said on your social media. Calvin has blocked me. I wish Lavelle would have blocked me. No doubt I started coming up, right? I started focusing on my craft. I started doing my videos. I started perfecting everything I was doing, and I started blowing up. So you could not get on social media and not see a video shared with me in it. I know that was pissing Lavelle off. Every time he saw the video, teeming with anger. Now, if I wronged Lavelle, why we just started hearing about it this year? Why Lavelle ain't did no other videos about me until all this heat started, right? Again, it's people joining together to want to tear me down, and they all failed miserably.
Have you ever said, let me get on the phone with him and try to, resolve this, or threaten him?
He's an ex. He's an ex.
He said you're a thief. He said a lot of things about you, some defamatory statements, in my opinion. Are you going to sue him for defamation of character?
Him calling me a thief, I can't. That's not sue worthy. Also, defamation of character, you have to be able to prove that what somebody said about you caused you harm or caused you to lose something. I ain't lost a dime in any of this. So I can't even go after nobody for defamation of character because the burden of proof would be on me to prove that you actually, whatever you did was defamatory enough that I'm now seeking the court's relief. I can't prove that, right? Because my revenue has consistently been good. I've consistently made six figures every single month, even at the height of all of this. So I can no longer go after you for defamation because I can't prove that what you said caused me to lose money. And I think that's what people don't realize. People who are like watching this, who don't have an ounce of logic or an ounce of legal sense, they will say, oh, just sue them for defamation. But you got to be able to prove that what somebody did caused you to lose money. And to be honest, Lavelle could say whatever he want to say about me, because I talk about him too, with his wide hips, his uneven face, and that horrible hair that he got. I talks about it. I wears him out, left to right, up and down. It's not illegal to talk about somebody. That's your First Amendment rights. I can have an opinion about the way you look, about the way you act. I could express that opinion as my amendment rights. That's not illegal.
And he bringing it up, and then they were talking about one of the rumors when did research about you. Oh, he closed the restaurant down. He can pay his staff. How do you respond to that? Why did you close your restaurants down? Did you scam your people and not pay them? Because that's like a thing that was circling on Twitter and on these on the streets.
Great question. Number one, 110 employees between 3 restaurants. That's a lot of footprint.
Absolutely.
If I didn't pay someone who did work for me, don't you think those employees could have gone to either the state, the Department of Labor in Illinois, or the Georgia Department of Labor and filed a complaint? Please tell me why no employee filed a complaint that said they hadn't been paid. Not one person.
Mm-hmm.
That's number one. Number two, it's not illegal to close a restaurant. In fact, go with me for a second. The logical way to close a restaurant is not to announce that you're closing. And I'll tell you why. I had 3 very popular restaurants. On Sundays at Soul Crab, Atlanta and Chicago, it was a 3-hour wait to get in. It was a 4-hour wait to get into Greens and Gravy, right? So these restaurants, popular and super successful. If I would have said to the staff, I'm closing the restaurants in 2 weeks, how many people do you think on that staff would have stuck around and stayed with me for 2 weeks? Meanwhile, I would have had a line out the door with no staff. How am I going to manage that while I'm on tour doing Dining with Darius Cooks? How do I manage the closing process that would be happening in 2 weeks and be on tour at the same time? I'm overextended at this point, right? It's impossible for me to do this. So the way you do it is you just shut down. That's why you see restaurants that close, they just shut down. Now, I will tell you from my mouth the reason why I closed the restaurants. I remember the day I made the decision. It was the weekend Kobe Bryant had got killed in the helicopter crash. I was in Malibu, California, doing Dining with Darius Cooks. It was a Sunday, and I remember one of my friends, she's a follower, but she's also a friend, Frida Hobbs. She came to dinner, and we both have struggled with, mental illness in the past. So we're pretty open about antidepressants and the whole bit. I said, Frida, I can't do this no more. She said, what happened? I got a phone call from the bar manager in Soul Crab, Atlanta. It was 6:30. She called me, 6:30 Pacific time. She called me and she said, are you busy? And I said, I'm doing Dining with Darius Cooks. You know I'm busy. It starts in 30 minutes. What's up? She says, the fryer went down. I said, we got 3 of them. All 3 went down? She said, yeah. I said, did you call the kitchen manager? No, I just decided to call you. Okay, DeVetta, I can't do anything on the other side of the country. You're going to have to call Sade. You got to call the kitchen manager, and y'all got to figure it out. I can't do nothing about that. It was in that moment that I said, I am done. Because I have been taken to such a point with this restaurant where every day employees are calling out. Every day employees are fighting. They're dealing drugs at the kitchen at Soul Crab in Atlanta. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Then they say, people make it sound like the employees were all innocent. I have video footage where the employees are stealing crab and the employees are stealing liquor. There was one employee came in with a baby, his son in his arm. He walks to the bar, pulls off 2 bottles of liquor off the bar, and then walks out.
Wow. And you closed it down because it was spreading you thin. And it was something else I saw that you had a credit repair company and you got in trouble.
Above 701. Yes.
And I was looking at it and they said that was illegal.
Yeah.
What made you get into that and did you have to pay money or pay a fine for that?
Yes. I'll tell you about that. So above 701, I'm super passionate about money. I don't know if it comes through on this interview or not, but I love
it. Comes through. Every time you go live, you gotta know you got
okay, because I'm super passionate about money. I talk about money because we don't talk about it enough, right? Okay. So, and money and credit, and you have all these people who follow me. I have millions of followers that follow me, and I have a tight core group of people who they're looking at the accomplishments. They're looking at, me buying houses and buying cars and living life, not lavishly, but in a successful, moderate way. And so I said to myself, well, shit, if I fix my own credit to buy my own house, I can do that for other people. So I started Above 701 in 2017, 18-ish. I helped hundreds of people. Now you don't have one person coming back saying, I paid Darius and my credit score did not increase. Not one person. What you have is you have the Department of Law from Georgia, the Attorney General's office, saying, wait a minute, you're doing credit repair? Credit repair is illegal in Georgia. You can't be in the state doing credit repair, and you can't do credit repair for anybody who's domiciled in the state of Georgia. I had no idea. I did not know that. And people say, well, why didn't you consult an attorney before you started? I never thought to because I didn't think it would be a big deal, right? Plus, I had seen other people like Derek Harper from Point Boosters. I had seen Daniel Rosen from Credit Repair Cloud do the exact same work, right? So here I am making hundreds of thousands of dollars doing credit repair. I'm good. So the Attorney General sends me a letter. I send it to my attorney, and they do their that's what attorneys do. You pay your attorney to handle your business. Mm-hmm. My attorney comes back to me and he says, I have good news, I have bad news. Bad news is you're off the hook. Or good news is you're off the hook. Bad news is it's going to cost you $140,000.
Wow.
I wrote the $140,000 check and did not blink once about writing the check. Now, here's where all the drama starts. People cannot associate a Black social media influencer with $140,000 to spare writing a check. My community could because they've seen it. But you have people who are from the outside looking in going, oh, dang, 140. So they're looking at the scenario through their own lens. They're not looking at the scenario through my lens, right? Because I'm cool with writing 100. If this is going to get me out of trouble and I'm good, here go the check. I'm not even blinking twice about it. So you have people from the outside looking in going, oh, this is bad. Oh, X, oh, Y, oh, Z, oh, this. And that's where all the drama came from. The Attorney General's office was like, all right, cool. You wrote a check. Thanks. See you later. Bye.
And that was resolved. And one thing that the most funny thing, people were sending me pictures of your dining with Darius, and they're saying, would you pay $200 for this? And they were showing me paper plates and all of that.
They've never showed you a paper plate.
What I'm saying is
never.
The pictures that they were showing me, they were saying it's not worth $200 and some dollars. And they were saying it's on a paper plate. It didn't look like a paper plate to me.
No, they're not.
But they said, would you pay for all that? And my response would be yes, because number one, you are a celebrity. Number two, you're paying for the experience, having somebody that you look up to, having somebody that you support, and he's cooking your food. So yes, I would pay that. It's no different me paying Chris Brown or Janet to go see Janet Jackson. So, but what is your response when people say it's not worth it paying that much money to dine with Darius?
Then don't pay it.
Okay.
That's it, right? Maserati, BMW, Mercedes-Benz, they don't make cars for people with a Ford budget, right? So what happens is if you go to the dealership and say, oh, I can get this car cheaper at Ford, honey, let me drop you off at the Ford dealership. You see what I'm saying? Like, let me do that because this really ain't the energy and the product and the audience that you're supposed to be a part of to begin with, if that is your mindset, right? Because I got people that say, you only charge $289, you ought to charge $400 for this. This was amazing, right? So two things can be true. Two people can look at the same thing and come up with two completely different scenarios. And as a content creator and influencer who monetizes every piece of his brand into an amazing community and ecosystem, I should be offering a few things. A low value product, right? So like an entry level cookbook for $30, and I should have a premium event or a premium offer for the core people who want to be a part of my community, and that's what Dining with Darius Cooks is. This is no different from what other coaches, other mindset, money mindset influencers are all about. Ash Cash, the exact same thing. Allison Bird, the exact same thing. Shalene Johnson, the exact same thing. Lisa Nichols, the exact same thing. This is what they do. I'm doing the exact same thing, but I'm lambasted because I'm doing it. Okay, cool.
And I hear that, and I was like, okay. Another thing that people say about you, Darius, that they come on social media they say that you use your platform to apply pressure to your critics to harass them. How do you respond to that? Because they say if I'm a critic of Darius, he goes live, he posts my name, and he just sent his followers out of it. Is that true? Do you do that?
Where's the post I did that?
I'm just asking you, it's true. That's just a rule. I'm just reading the comments that I see on Twitter.
Where's the post? Where is the post where I did that? That's what I want to know. Where is the post? Let me just say this. I have a lot of people that follow me. We call people of a particular age either auntie or uncle, right? These are people who are 60, 70, 80 years old. They love me, right? They're like, Darius, I look at you like my nephew, like my son, like my grandson. I love you. These women who are in my life would immediately call me out if they felt like my actions were questionable and degrading, right? They would say, Darius, now you know you shouldn't be doing this. Now, you know, I follow you and I like what you do, son, but you shouldn't be. They would call me out on this. I've not been called out, right? Because I've never done that. What the people who hate me on Twitter have said, oh, he said this, oh, he said that. Where is the post? Why we don't see no screenshot? We see screenshots of everything else. Where is the screenshot or the soundbite where I have personally sent my people after anybody? Now, I will tell you what will happen. Now, this is what I'll tell you what happened. You come in our live streams, interrupting our family time with some bullshit, they gonna handle you. I ain't got to say a word. You see what I'm saying? So you come in being perpendicular or you come in being smart. One thing we do very well is, like I'm sure you do, is we see right through the BS. Absolutely. We see right through it. The moment you come in and your heart is not right, we are Bible believing a community of people who got discernment. And we'll see that bullshit in a minute and call it out. And then you want to get embarrassed when you get called out. You shouldn't have came in here left field. Then you wouldn't have got cussed out. That be the problem. And you know, sometimes, you know, you can be nice to everybody. And then sometimes people will try you. And you be like, listen, I don't know who you thought I was. I'm not the 1, 2, or the 3. So you come in here messing with me, I'm going to say what I got to say. I'm going to block you, and we're going to move on with our life.
And it was a thing that I just typed your name in today on Twitter just to share this link to people. Mm-hmm. You have a shirt that said, make oxtail cheap again. Someone said that you stole that from another content creator. Is that true?
No. Who the hell I steal it from?
They said that you stole it from another person.
And when this make oxtail, I had it out first.
Okay.
My shirts, this make oxtails cheap again shirt has been out at least 4 years.
Okay.
At least. See, the thing is, I'm just gonna go and tell you, right? I'm just gonna go and tell you. I start stuff, I do stuff, and then people come behind. Nobody was doing peach cobbler pound cake with the cream cheese till they seen mine. Nobody was doing the crab stuffed salmon till they seen mine. Yes, it might be other people. Nobody. Now you're starting to see lemon pepper honey fried chicken float around, right? But it's already got 24 million views on Facebook, and it belongs to me. So a lot of stuff people are seeing, they're making claims because they've not seen it before in the past. Like this lady today on my Facebook that said, you talked about you fired one of your chefs. Where's the live explaining what happened? We never seen that. I said, ma'am, I did 3 lives about this. Mm-hmm. You just never saw the 3 lives. So you're forming an opinion based on not even having all the information. That's what be happening. You have people who get 2% of the information but got a 100% opinion about something. You got to go get the other 98% pudding, add that to what you think you know, the 2%, and then come see me again.
And I hear you. A lot of people, when they, unfortunately, I believe that, do you believe that it would be accurate because of your success, you became a target? Because I think if you were just unknown, not successful, I don't think people would pay you any mind.
Oh, yeah.
They just Darius did this, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, where's this?
Yeah, they hate me. Because oh, God. Oh, Lord. And you know, my brass and harsh personality don't help it either, right? Because I'm not going to be humble. Fuck that. You know, as much work as I done labored in, they say, oh, Quentin and Ramon, your chefs, they do all the work. Well, I write a check for them on Tuesdays. And FYI, for the last 6 years, who the hell you think was doing down there with Darius cooked by themselves? I cut, chopped, cleaned, prepped, served, met, took pictures, everything all by myself. I have paid my dues in my business to do what I want to do. So it's people who they have this spirit of comparison. Them girls on Twitter, they comparing their life to mine. Them two different lives. All right. Quit comparing your life to mine and your journey to mine. Focus on your journey. Then you won't have anything negative to say about how I'm living my life or what I'm doing.
And another email I received when I announced this, they said, you need to talk about how this lady from the Food Network coming at him and how he did her harm and she put her neck out for him. Where does that energy come from? Because you were doing stuff on the Food Network.
Listen, when you find out, let me know. Okay.
That was an email I received.
And some of my followers and people who don't even follow me
reached
out to Sonny Anderson and said, well, what did Darius do? And they still don't have an answer.
Wow.
So when you find out how I pissed her off, you let me know. I do think, though, let me tell you what I do think. Because this is the truth. Now I'll tell you, I'll tell you the truth. What happened was she invited me to come on her show on the Food Network. It was supposed to be one episode. That was it. At the time, the producer, Mark Disson, who also produced for Paula Deen and somebody else, I forget. But you can look him up. Mark Disson. Mark said, you got something. He said, when are you leaving? I said, oh, my flight's tomorrow. He said, well, we taping another show. Do you mind sticking around? Mark Disson made the call to add me to a second show, not Sonny Anderson. Well, we did the second show. The show came out. Ratings must have been all right because Mark Disson called me back again and said, would you mind coming back on the show? We got another two episodes you want to take with you in mind. I said, cool. Wow. So they flew me back out. I remember I went to Sonny Anderson's dressing room. It was an episode with, I was wearing a red polo shirt. We were doing chicken tacos and peanut butter and jelly bars on the show. It was like a back to school special. And I didn't know what was happening. And remember, I wasn't Darius Cooks yet. I'm just Darius Williams. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So not super confident, not super articulate. I had my old teeth in. I had my old body in. You know what I'm saying? I done lost. I done came on down. I look good now.
You look, yes, you do, sir.
Yeah, but I was just regular Darius back then. So, if this happens now, yes, you can put the camera on me right now. I'm a shine. I was not as confident back then. So I went to her dressing room. I asked her, I was like, what are we doing? What's next? She was like, oh, you will find out. You got it. You're good. She basically wouldn't tell me nothing. Right. So I took that as like, dang. And I was so naive. I didn't even see that as her being in a space where she didn't want to tell me nothing. I didn't even see it as that. I just felt like, well, shit, I guess there's a problem there, So that's what happened years ago. I reached out to her a couple of times because I'm like, yo, we had a cheesesteak trip, me and her. We went to Philadelphia. We went to 3 different places. We laughed, we cried, everything was great. And so when I went, after I came back home, I called her. She didn't take my call. I emailed her. She didn't respond. I texted her. She didn't respond. So for years, I'm fucked up in the head because I'm like, dang, what did I ever do to her? Well, and to this day, I still don't know. I have an inkling, but I don't know. So there was a guy on Food Network. His name was Judson Allen. He's from Chicago. He passed away, but he was on Next Food Network Star. Judson and I knew each other from Chicago and the food world. She didn't know this. So she became chummy with Judson, and she was telling Judson to watch out for me in the Twitter DMs. Watch out for me. I'm a clout chaser, this, that, and the third. That's what she told Judson. The only way I found this out is because Judson has somebody working for him that I'm cool with. This guy named Janito Harris. He told me I could tell his story. He told me I could tell it on his when I was on Instagram. Because I wasn't going to say his name unless he told me to say it, but he told me I could say it. Janito is the person who said, they in the inbox talking about you. I said, well, talking about me for what? And at this point, it had been 4 or 5 years since I even talked to Sonny Anderson. But Sonny knew that Judson and I knew each other. So she's trying to warn Judson, not knowing that me and Judson been cool for years. So I think that she believed I was trying to be a clout chaser. I don't know for sure because she never said anything. She never told me anything. She never said nothing. So I really don't know what the issue is. But at the height of all of this, people were going to Sonny asking her, like a pastor friend of mine wrote, he sent me the DM, the screenshot. He wrote to her and said, what did Darius ever do? Her reply was like, oh, you're a pastor? Do your fingers burn when you read the Bible? That was her reply.
Oh my God.
That was her reply to Pastor Sammy down.
Wow.
Okay. So we're looking around like, damn, girl, what is wrong with you? So to this day, I still don't know.
Wow. You know, I'm glad you came on because I had your back. Me and your ex had got into it and all of that. And I said, anytime exes would never be credible because you're already biased.
Right. Already. Exactly.
But thank you so very much for coming on. I know you're busy. I am a fan. I
appreciate it.
I love the fact that you came on the show, and I'm glad that you're still winning. You know, you're still winning.
Let me tell you something. I will always win. Even if I lose, I will always win. The people who are watching this, and I know you got people watching this who can't stand me, need to understand one thing. All I'm doing is being obedient. I'm being a vessel. My whole life has been a nothing but me listening to what it is God would have me to do. If that's a problem for you and the way my success is set up, you take it up with him. At the rate I'm going, I will never fail. Failure is not in my vocabulary. Failure is not an option. All those dozens of people tried to take me out of here. Where they at? All gone by the wayside. One after the other. All I did was stand and keep working.
You know, Deion Sanders said, don't let my insecurities expose your, don't let my securities, me being confident, expose your insecurity. And I think that you being confident is really exposing people that, that haterism, because you are secure in what you believe and how
all I can do is live my life. That's all I'm doing. And I'm living it loud and unapologetically. And I want all of the success that shall be mine. I've worked for it. I've toiled for it. There is sweat, there is blood, there are tears. So when I come on the up and up and I am successful about it, and you know what else they can't take is my transparency. Because see, I talk about my own shit, but you talk about it. You see what I'm saying? And they go, oh my gosh, he said that. Yes, because I am also very much human as well. And I should be able to say what I want to say, be who I want to be, and not be lambasted for the level of success in which I live my life. If that bothers you, listen, baby, the unfollow button is free. Exercise it. Because the way I look at it, nobody put a gun to your head and said, follow me. But you, being the nosy ass you are, looking for some drama, got to follow me, and now you're gonna be upset because I'm living my life out loud and in color. Problem with you, then just stay upset.
Are you still on tour for Darius? Dining with
Darius? So we just finished up in Austin. We leave tomorrow to go to LA. I do a taste test in LA. We all for 2 weeks, and then we kick back up in January.
And then you go on to we kick back. Is you still selling tickets, or is it?
Yes. Sold? Oh, and for the record, the people said in January on Twitter, oh, how you gonna do all those dates? He gonna cancel on those people and not give them their money back? Which one I cancel? Huh? Which one was I not there? 172 Dining with Darius Cooks events this year alone. I was at every one of them.
Yes. I see no doubt because I saw follow your social media. You definitely are doing it. And I see people in the DM saying, Wiley, you didn't ask them the tough questions. I just think they want me to interrogate you. But again, you have not been arrested, anything. No. So if you were such a scammer, you would have been behind bars. Something would have happened.
And to be honest, let me just tell you. So over the summertime, the people on Twitter who hate me, they would search for the Airbnbs we were at. They would call the police. The police will show. The police came to Atlanta.
Wow.
The police came to Orlando. The police came to Richmond, Virginia. Wow. And I'm sure they came someplace else. The police showed up. The actual police. What if I'm doing something so wrong and I'm breaking the law? Why was I not arrested?
Wow. I didn't know they called the cops on you. Wow.
Oh, yes. The Atlanta police came and she said, Atlanta said, they said you was doing a party. And the lady, when it was like 4 police officers, because we were in off Howell Mill Road. So it's like a well-to-do area. So the officers showed up. One officer was like, oh, I know you. I said, yeah, it's me. And they said, well, can we just look around just to make sure? She went in and looked around, middle-aged people listening to Luther Vandross eating fried fish. right?
Wow.
So she was like, it's not, they said it was like something going on. I don't see anything. I said, I know, I'm sorry to have about. She's like, no, we're sorry to bother you. We're just doing our job. They called us on the thing. They said we had to come over here. We're sorry. Then they called the police. We were in Orlando. They said we were doing illegal gambling and having some kind of like wild party or something like that.
Wow.
The sheriff walked in, looked around and said, sir, I'm so sorry to bother you. Have a great day, and left. So this is not it's not an uncommon occurrence. It happens all the time. Oh, they called the police on me when we were in Baltimore as well. It happened. They've since backed off because everybody was against me. Now they started fighting against each other. Melanie's fighting against Kitchenista fighting against the Hollands. No, fuck you. No, fuck you. No, I hate you. No, I hate you. I'm just sitting back watching the chips fall where they made. I mean, y'all argue on. Because I'm having the best time watching you act a fool. Okay, the best time watching y'all cut up and act a fool. So, it's not uncommon. But like you said, if I was doing something so wrong, where are the indictments, right?
Absolutely.
You had the Attorney General investigating me. That investigation has been concluded and closed. Where are the indictments?
Absolutely, that's a very good question.
So when you find out where the indictments are, or what rules and what laws were broken, let me know, please.
Yes. It's good. I love your story because you're from Chicago, from the South Side, Inglewood.
From the West Side.
And you're from the West Side. And to see your glow up, I said, wow, that's amazing.
Listen, let me just publicly say thank you. I appreciate the support. I had no idea even who you were, but my people were telling me, they were like, oh yeah, he's been always saying positive things about you. He's always supported you. I'm like, okay, well then this is cool. Let's go.
Yes, sir.
So, and my job is not to convince you that I'm not a crook. That's not my job. If you believe I am, then that's your belief, right? But if you want to have an unbiased conversation about what the truth is and what the facts are, I'm here for that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And yes, thank you. Where can people get in contact with you so they can follow you if they don't know?
They already know they know where to find me. They've been looking up. They know exactly where to find me. I'm on Instagram 5 times a day, every night till the edibles kick in. I go live on TikTok, YouTube, and Facebook. They know where to find me. Trust me.
All right. Thank you, Darius, for coming on.
All right. You're absolutely welcome. Have a great day, my dude.
Bye. Wow. Thank you so very much. We had Darius on our show. And I'm so happy. I'm honored to, to have a celebrity on our show. But we thank y'all so very much. We're gonna open up. I'm gonna drop the link if anybody want to say something for at least for about 10 more minutes. We're just gonna do the link only. So if you got something to say, we would definitely we only doing the link. We're not doing the call-in number. We're doing the link. So you can hit the link and everything like that. I'll drop that. Again, I want to also thank my good sis Monica from All About the Tea. Love her so dearly. A great friend of mine. I call her a friend. Great supporter of my show, and I'm a great supporter of her brand, allaboutthetea.com. And I didn't think that I was going to be able to interview Darius Cooks, and he reached out. He said, "Yes, I will come on your show." And I was so honored. Right, Paul? Right? I was honored. I was in my getting a haircut, and I got the word that he will come on the show. And I was kind of nervous because when you announce that you're interviewing somebody, typically either it don't happen or people flood the emails or they flood the DMs. But Darius kept his word, and he came. He actually came on the show, and so I think that's definitely amazing. And this is our year. I think we just reached, right, Paul? I think you're saying we reached 29,000. We had 29,000 followers, so we'll be at 30,000 in January. All right, thank you, Paul. Thank you all so very much. Again, we're getting ready for we're gonna be getting ready for our New Year's Eve show, where we're gonna be bringing in the New Year's live on YouTube. I'm already gonna have me some Hennessy, some drinking. We're gonna have some fun. We're gonna do that live on the YouTube channel. I want to give a special shout out to Corey for cutting my hair, doing a good job of cutting my hair today. Shout out to you, Corey. And if you was on my station head earlier, we had a whole gossip session. You know what I'm saying? Had a real gossip session, and we were gossiping. Thank you so very much. Also, too, we streamed on YouTube, so make sure you all subscribe and support our show. This is just the beginning. More people are going to come on our show. This is definitely the beginning. I love it. And yeah, this is just the beginning, man. It was a very calm interview. Wasn't as aggressive like the other lawyer, Brother Ponder. But again, it was a calm, right? Okay, it wasn't aggressive. I got my sleep in and I ate an amazing dinner. How much money have any of the chat? All right, I see y'all in the chat. So we will be reaching out to brother Vale. We're gonna be reaching out to him, and we asked the tough questions, and these are the questions that I said I was definitely was going to ask, and so I appreciate that. But thank y'all so very much. And let me see. I see y'all in there comment. We're gonna be back live because we're gonna be covering the trial, Tory Lanez and Meg the Stallion, that whole trial. So we're gonna be covering that. Um, Thank you so very much. Thank y'all so very much. I know a lot of people got a whole lot of stuff to say. I'm looking forward to your comments because I know in the comments that people are going to say that I didn't ask this particular question, that particular question, but I'm looking forward to seeing your comments really, really quickly. I'm looking forward to seeing your comments. So if you have anything that I didn't get to say, put it in the comments. You know what I'm saying? And let me know how I did. All right. Also, I want to say special shout out to my moderators, the best moderators in the house. Shout out to them and their love and their support for supporting our show. Thank you so very much. Let me make sure I give you all the text list because we are going to be back live today. You're going to be notified. Text Wiley, Wiley, to 888-534-4939. Text Wiley, Wiley, to 888-534-4939. And you can be notified when I go live. Wow, you did a good job. Darius is everything. You were fine to me. We know enough. Darius is an amazing person. Black women love Darius. Wow. I didn't lose money to Darius because I love him so very much. I'm going to order his products. Thank you all so very much. So see y'all on the after show on Station Head. We're going to go live over there on Station Head. Make sure y'all join us for the after show. Thank y'all so very much. Make sure y'all subscribe. Until next time. Peace.